Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
It's The Session with Mel G.
I think that we should start with the session. But before we begin, let me ask you a few questions. Have you?
Hey everyone, welcome to TheSessionTV. I'm your host Mel G, and it's my pleasure to have a very special guest with me once again, almost 2 years later. It's going to be Sap from the Pioneer Crew. What's up, Sap? Welcome to the session.
What's up, man? I appreciate you having me.
Of course.
Just dropped a new album.
Yeah.
Excited about it.
I'm super excited to celebrate you. First of all, you dropped it on your birthday, so happy belated once again.
Thank you.
Title is Underdog Museum.
Yeah.
And it's 14 tracks, self-produced album of yours. Congratulations on that. That's an accomplishment, man. How do you feel about that?
I'm real excited about it. I took a while on it, It was just something that I wasn't going to release until I was genuinely proud of it, top to bottom. You know what I mean? It was, and in the midst of working on other stuff for other people, but it was important to me to get it exactly how I heard it in my head,
And let me tell you that it sounds amazing. I think I hit you up, like the first time I heard it, I was driving to work and I was like, yo, I am so in shock. Like I was just taken aback by how much improvement you've done. Like I was very impressed, man. Like there's just so much to break down on this album, yo. So elaborate a little bit on, first of all, the name of the album. What does it mean to you?
To me, like that was important to me, the title, because that was this whole statement I was trying to make with this album, Like I've been doing this so long, and I just, like, even the past couple of years, like I've been like, I just been focusing on a lot of different stuff, whether it's like get myself right mentally, bouncing back from certain things, losing friends and all of that. And then I had so many people telling me, oh man, you should be here, or you should be this and that, you should be bigger. And I think, like, I was like, damn, man, like really, like a lot of people feel like that. And I was like, I kind of humbly agree. Like, I think it's on me though. It's not really somebody else's fault. And I just think me being so laid back, so chill about shit. And that's where the title came from. Like, I just was like, I'm going crazy this year. You know what I mean?
Yo, you can hear it, like, in the whole, like, there's a lot of lyrics and things that you just mentioned. Like you brought up your life so much, and I appreciated you just like, yo, I'm tired of like holding it all in, which is one of the lyrics that you even have on the tracks that you say, it's time for me to let it out, to share that emotion that I keep trying to hold it on. So I love that you were able to let go of some of, some shit that you got on your chest,
Yeah, for sure. That was like a big thing for this project. Like, just expressing how you feel, not trying to be this or that or politically correct, nothing. Like, you just saying how you feel, you know what I mean? And I love that because you always like end up connecting with people unexpectedly, because there's so many other people that feel that way, Your
a lot of the shit you said I've been through recently, like some of the topics that you touched on. I was like, yo, it's just crazy that like somebody on the other side of the world, he feels what I'm going through. That's what I love so much, that I would just kept running them back because I related.
Yeah. Nah, that's what like I love the most about the response to the album. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the message. People really fuck with the message, man, and that's like important to me. Like, of course, you want to make good music, but I want to make stuff that's really in my heart, things I really feel that I could listen to over and over. And I know it's genuine. I know it's me. And this, to me, this is the most me project I've ever done. Like, this is the project where I think it's my best work, because it's like the sound is better. Like, I improve skill wise, but I think just the honesty. And I listen to it over and over, and I'm like, man, like, it's just,
that was what did it for me. Like, my first impression of you, obviously I haven't met you in person, but like you just seem more like chill and like more like to yourself, So when I heard this album, I got this Sap like expressing the fuck out of himself. So I just I love that you were like no holds bars. Like I'm gonna let everybody know what's up. I just appreciated that energy so much. Like you were talking your shit. It's beautiful.
Nah, everything. And shout out to everybody too that helped me make the project. Like Jay Stone, me and Jay Stone did those records a minute ago. Styles, it's crazy because like I sent that record to Styles, rest in peace, Hovain hooked that up. And he sent it back within like, I want to say under a week. It was crazy. I was like, oh shit. When I heard the verse, I was like, yo, like just growing up on Styles, that was crazy to hear him like reference my hook, like the lyrics I wrote and shit. It was crazy.
What a
And
dream come true, man. And he's
yeah,
like a beast, yo.
yeah. Yo, I had the Gangster and Gentleman album when I was young, when I was like, I think it came out when I was like 12, but at 12, I would have never imagined like, dog, I'm gonna rap on a song with Styles. That's crazy. I wasn't even rapping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like Jay Stone, that record, it was special to me because we recorded that like a little bit after everything happened with Nipsey. So that was like, you know, special for me to do that with him. And I connected with him through Nipsey, obviously. Zookie, the record, Agreed, she killed that.
You guys went crazy. I love the energy that you both have with each other, like that exchange of energy, because she's always on. She went crazy on her verse, okay? Like she just flowed nasty as hell. Like she just did that. Shout out to Zookie.
She's so different. She's
she's just ill. She's just her. Like I love that. I love that. Her energy is amazing. Her flow, her raps. Hopefully she blows up, man. I see it.
Yeah. I think she's shit, man. Joe College too, the Tell Me record. That's one of my favorites because I love doing music that's like not the norm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that Tell Me record, that was like a disco sample slowed down with like a reggae vocal chop over top of it, just some other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I love even Joe College's verse, like his approach to the song. It was like a way slowed down, like she get it from her mama. That part, like that whole shit. That was a dope approach. I loved it.
It's crazy because I found out, I was like, yo, I heard this, bro. I was like, oh, he flipped the joint, the J verse from the joint when he did the Best of Both Worlds album. But then we got Big Ooh on there, we got Tdot Illdude, and I think they just like.
How did you meet those two? Because there were those two, Big Ooh and Tdot, were actually the standouts for me. Obviously, besides the legends on the track and Zookie and stuff. But how did you meet those two?
Big Ooh, like he just somebody who's fire, like super talented at what he do in our area, and you can't like ignore his presence, and you know what I mean, especially in the tri-state. Like Big Ooh just so crazy. I always respected his pen. Tdot, I forgot how I connected with Tdot. Tdot, another one that's from actually Joe College, Big Ooh, and Tdot are all from Jersey, I believe.
Okay.
And I met Tdot, I want to say, forgot how I connected with him, but I think our chemistry is crazy. Like we make some good shit together. And it's just like that Tdot record came out crazy too. I just love everything on
I'm
there.
gonna be honest with you, in my notes, that's actually the track that I've ran back the most. Like
wow,
the Tdot record, because I think it's the flow. Okay. You have crazy flows all over the tracks. Like on this one in particular, though, you were going like, I was like, who is he mimicking? Where is this from? I don't know if you did it on purpose, like trying to like copy another verse, but I was like, yo, this is insane.
Just whatever I hear, you know. I don't never like have a set thing of how something is going to sound, you know. Even like when I make beats, I don't have like a beat in my head that I want to make. I just click on sounds and whatever comes to me, it's like a puzzle. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say on that track, something special that you said. There's a flow switch, but you said this is like my third round that I've been on, same style that I put a little spin on. They be asking me why I've been gone. I was like, that right there is exactly what we're talking about. Like you're gonna ask what I've been on. Like this whole album is what I've been on. Like I love that you just confident about it, yo.
Yeah. Now I knew like. When I was making the records I was making, I knew we had something special in our hands. I was like, man, if we could really like stay dedicated to pushing this album too, not just like letting the people who heard it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just stop there. They'd be like, all right, you know, people heard it, like, nah, we got to push this shit further and further, you know, because sometimes people get a good response from something and they think like it's so much more life into it. And I learned that from Nip. Like when he had a Victory Lap album, man, he was like, he wrote that shit out. Like people heard it, the initial fans heard it when it first dropped, but he made sure people didn't forget about that album.
You
You know what I
actually,
mean?
there's a bar too that you say in your album that you're like, people heat up and then they get comfortable. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people get comfortable and you can't let up. You know what I mean? You can't let up, like, because this shit is going like this, like nonstop. And it's
Especially
like,
when you have a quality project like this album, like it's very, I
yeah.
honestly, from my heart, I really mean it. It's very special. I haven't run an album back like this probably since Solo's album that dropped in December. I just been
Oh
running that
yeah,
shit
yeah,
back, yo.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's how I really
yeah.
feel.
Shout out to Solo.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah,
right
yeah.
there. I have a question for you. Like, since it wasn't a
Hmm.
self-produced album, like, how is the
Hmm.
process for you when you're choosing your beats? Because you must have a million beats, you know what I mean? So how is it that process for you to choose the ones for your album? Like, maybe do you have like a friend that you can go to, or like a fellow musician that you get advice from to like help you decide on which ones are gonna be yours, or what's that like for you?
Um, it's rare that I go back to beats that I've already made. I usually make them as I'm making them. I start writing to them,
Mm-hmm.
and those are the ones I usually keep. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But then, but then I like, so I make them on the spot. But then like I'll start with like a loop, and then I'll record a song on it. And I'll be like, all right, I can add this and add that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like the style you can hear I'm developing now is like, so like I'm doing different things with my voices, and I think that's
Yeah.
it changed the way I produce me as an artist, because
Interesting.
now I understand what artists mean when they want beats minimum, when they want space so they can create. You
Yeah.
know, some beats are better to listen to than they are to make a song to. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And
So it's helped you even in your artistry, like as a producer, because you understand now a little bit more of the musician side.
right, right, exactly. So, but beats, it may be like 3 beats on that album that I made, and I went back to like, damn, I'm gonna write to this, like, and I know "Keep On" was one of them. Uh,
That beat's
and
crazy.
thank you. Yeah, that was I sent that out to a few people, but ain't nobody bite. So I was like, I'm gonna use this. And then it was like maybe like a couple more. It was like maybe like 2 more, but for the most part, I made them as I was making them shit. Sometimes I make beat. I'm like, man, I'm keeping this. It's mine. I'm gonna write this right now.
Yeah,
You
definitely,
know.
yo.
So
So
that's just how it
actually,
goes.
talking about getting better as a musician and all that stuff, I saw one of your recent
Hmm.
tweets that says, "Emotional intelligence made me a way better person and musician." And I'm curious as to
Yeah,
why and how, and like, have you been to therapy maybe or something like that that opened your eyes in that sense to be a better person
yeah.
and musician?
It was just like that's just going through things in the past few years of my life that I never thought I'd go through. And it might have been things that people went through that I've known for a long time. And then you kind of like got a different perspective on how they feel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I guess I started looking at stuff like damn, like you start you start operating. Now I move like how I think about how the other person may feel, like think about, put yourself in their shoes. And that's a real hard thing for most people to do, because
Yeah, and it's
we
hard, like you said, like it's such a good thing to learn to practice in your daily life and
yeah,
your career because you do business
yeah.
with people every day. So
Yeah, yeah. And it's like sometimes you could take things the wrong way because you're so worried about you. You're so worried about how everything is about you. Sometimes like somebody can be going through some other shit, or you know what I mean?
hmm
And I learned that too, like getting this all like talking about stuff in my album, like people don't really care how you feel. They think you had this, or they just want to get what they want to get from you, but they don't really care about how you feeling. So they just want to get what they want. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so that's why I try to like create that balance. Like, damn, like let me see if I can help this person. Let me see how, you know what I mean? Maybe
hmm
they need this, and because it's crazy, man. We all want to do good. We all want shit we want when we want it, but it's how you get it too. You know what I mean?
yeah, and
It's
and
real.
there's a lot of topics too that you just talk about, like depression and grief. For example, when you say I lost a couple
Hmm.
brothers, I was struggling. Depression always creep up on you when you least expect it, and it's troubling. That was one of my
Yeah,
favorite parts, man. And I
yeah,
just,
yeah.
again, there's so many relatable topics when you talk about COVID, and when you started that track with that funky flow, the funky
But,
dots, monkeypox,
oh yeah.
ridiculous
Which
intro. But you also talk about being afraid of mass shooters and shit like that. So there's so many topics on this album. I feel like people can
yeah.
really tap into and be like, we've all
It,
experienced that type of fear and all that shit. And
yeah. What's crazy is obviously like losing like the two homies, like and trying to bounce back from that mentally. Just so many different things because that was such a daily routine for me, like dealing with my guys. And also we talking about, oh yeah, COVID. I ended up fucking catching COVID around my birthday. You know
Oh
what I'm
my
saying? Like
goodness.
just out here at Green, and I'm just like, look at this shit. This is crazy. Like, and I
Yeah.
was doing well dodging that shit. But yeah, but the mass shooters, yeah, it's crazy. It's hard, not especially in America. It's a mass shooter every, I don't know,
Anywhere you walk
every
into
month.
is terrifying, yo.
Yo, anywhere. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, and that can happen to anybody. That's what I mean by like being an empath, like understanding like that shit can happen to anybody. Like, you know, a lot of things people when it ain't us that's going through it, a lot of times we be like, oh, it ain't my problem. But it's like, man, that shit can be your problem tomorrow or today. You don't even know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we gotta have a sense of community, understanding each other, supporting each other. And speaking
Yeah,
of
yeah.
community, you talk a lot about the industry too.
Hmm.
I just
Yeah,
love that you're getting shit off your chest because there was on
yeah,
any old day, particularly, um, you approach that track like with mad questions, like questioning people and like trying them.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I love that. And there's a part in here where you say, "Are you a leader who going hard when they don't see you, or do you need a
yeah,
bunch of attention like a diva?" Like, yo,
yeah, yeah. Nah, real shit.
Sap, you went crazy, yo.
Nah, cause it's like that shit's real, and that's what pisses me off a lot. Cause like I love what I do, and when I try to collaborate or work with somebody, it's a lot of times I collaborate, and it's like they do this shit for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So when it ain't attention and shit like that around, when you just gotta lock in a room and work and this and that, they bullshit and they don't want to do it. They
Yeah,
don't want to do like the real shit. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? They just want to
absolutely.
party and yeah, had an image and look like they lit on Instagram. All of that is, and it's like I think that's where that song came from. Like, man, like people ain't really because Instagram changed it inspired people, but then it made people like force them. So it made a lot of people fake
Absolutely.
work, be fake busy, like they
Mhm.
doing shit. And then when you get around them, you know they full of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. So I was like, yeah, that's where that record came from, man. Like, it's real, man. I'm tired of that. Like, I know we all deal with that though. Like, people who just ain't serious, like, and they wasting your time, and it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah. How is it like? Well, you have some people that are dope to work with, like Trae the Truth, for example. How is it to get him on a track and collab with him? I think he's a
Yeah,
superhero, so I love Trae. He's super dope.
yeah, Trae for sure. I known Trae for a long time, man. Like the first time I ever met Trae, I want to say it was South by Southwest, like back in 2011. And I had gave him a beat CD. It's crazy because I was rapping I was making music on and off for like a decade. And I remember I had a song I sent to Trae. I was like, yo, Trae. He was like, yeah, I heard it, man. I'm just not like inspired. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck. And I remember I was like, damn, like, and then fast forward like, 10 years later, we got a banger together. And I think it's a crazy record.
Yeah, Appetite.
And
Love it. Super good, super dope.
yeah, but I did a lot of music for Trae too. Been producing for stuff for him. And
Amazing,
yeah,
yo.
we've been talking about a whole EP. Just
Dope. I
like,
would love to hear it, man. And he has that special voice. Like his voice, you can't mistake in that shit.
oh yeah, yeah.
He's
Yeah, it's
so
on
ill. I
Trae.
love it. I love it. Um,
Yeah,
on Prove It to You, that was a strong ass opening track, which I absolutely loved. And you pulled me in right away with the reggae vibes, which you
yeah,
did on
yeah.
track 1 and 2. Prove It to You, do you feel like you intentionally make strong opening tracks now, especially with your success with Victory Lap, the title track on Nipsey's Victory Lap album? Like, do you intentionally like you want to make sure that that first track is the strong one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought intros were important. The first intro that ever inspired me, well, as a kid, like listening, was probably Jay-Z's Dynasty intro.
Dope.
And that came out in 2000. And I remember hearing that and being like, wow, like that was a hell of a way to open the album. The beat, everything was crazy. And I would say after that, for sure, Dreams and Nightmares intro. And then of course, like Victory Lap. I mean, when you hear like Self-Employed, '08 is like a strong intro to, I think, like trying to grab people. But I think intros definitely have become more important over the years,
And even
especially with Victory.
the title too, you're proving it to your audience, your listeners.
Yeah.
Like, yep,
Yeah.
here we are, yo. And by the way, congratulations, because Victory Lap just reached double plat status.
Yeah, it did. And the single
that
is
man,
platinum.
yo.
Yeah, the single platinum. That's
Amazing.
fire. He got like updates and new certifications, like 14 of them. Is crazy. Right. He went crazy. But yeah. But yeah, like that's for sure. Like Victory Lap definitely. I mean, Nipsey's whole approach to his album inspired how I approached this album too, like especially being around him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when he made that album, I seen what went into it. It was crazy. And it was a privilege to be around that, because now I'm like, I learned things and I just see, I'm like, oh, this is how, how you do this. And even everybody, I learned from so many people. I learned from Kendrick. Like I've been around Kendrick when he was working on stuff recording. And Kendrick was like the first nigga I seen in his studio. He had like 8 mics in his booth, 8 different mics.
Wow.
That shit was crazy. Yeah, I never seen that like that. And I think like just seeing how he made records, and it just, it's a whole Mac too. Like just seeing how everybody processing what makes their superpower. You just like, oh, that's crazy how they do that. You know what I mean?
There was definitely one point when I was hearing the album, like, yo, Mac would be so proud of Sap. Like, just
oh yeah.
You did so many, like we've talked about, you did so many flavors, like of tracks, production, you're rapping.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he would have been like, that's what's up.
I know.
And even hearing the J Stone song, I pictured Nip on that one too. Like I could hear him rapping on that shit.
Oh,
yo,
yeah.
It's insane.
I was saying that, I was like, man, if bros are still here, they would definitely be proud of this album. Like this is an album that I would have been like, I'd have pulled up, I'd have played Nip, like, yo, bro, you got, you know what I mean? I'd have played Mac.
If there's nothing to take away, like, just know people are alive or have passed. We are definitely proud of you, yo, because this is shit.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Impressed the fuck out of me, man.
Yeah. Nah,
there's just so many fun moments too, like on Prove It to You, when you say, my story made me fuck what you read about Aquarius, like, yo.
Oh yeah, because there be so much of that shit, like Zodiac. Oh man, these people do this, or you know what I mean? It's like, man, shut up. That shit. Like some of it kind of true though, because like,
no, I know.
Like, yeah, like my ex was heavy into that, and she kind of put me on to some of the stuff, and I ain't knew nothing about it, and I started paying attention to certain things, and I'm like, damn, like this is kind of true, like this, but not everything.
Not always. Yeah, exactly. That was cracking up, man. I want to talk about the last track, which is Make a Scene. The beat sort of kind of reminded me on some old Kanye gospel type of vibe. I don't know if that's what you were aiming for, but that's what I got at least. And I just like that you talked about some great topics, just wrapping it up. And there's a lot of life lessons, I feel, and all the stuff that you talked about on the album. So again, Make a Scene was a nice just closing track. And I love at the ending when you mentioned the scholarship. How has that been for you? Like to see that in action, the kids in the schools and your mom being proud of you. I loved all that, you know?
That's it was crazy. The scholarship. We started it, I want to say, I forgot how many years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I don't want to lie and say 3, 4, something like that. But that was crazy because we just wanted to do something. I just wanted to do something for the kids at the school, and then it ended up turning into that. My mom was like real like great with that, with the principal, because it's a school I went to. I used to go to Christiana High School. But yeah, it's just, and I had so many great moments at that school. Like we had a fashion show one year there. I think my senior year there, and I had this record for Meek that was popping in the area. This was like when he is about to sign with T.I. and all types of shit. And then I brought him to the school to perform as a surprise guest. Man, the school went fucking nuts. It was crazy. It was the craziest shit ever. I think it was like one crazy video of it on YouTube, but I can't find it no more. But that was like that was, you know, like I started in high school. So like I started like popping in my area in high school. So
Full circle
and
moment, you know.
yeah, exactly. And it's like I always got so much love and support from them. So it's dope to do that. And it's just dope to be a part of kids' future, man, and try to help out, man. And you know what I mean? Do what we
Absolutely.
can. I want to do it bigger every year. I want to eventually get like other heavy people involved in it. You know what I'm saying? And take that shit to a whole nother level. And that's dope.
Yeah, man, keep
It's really,
inspiring. That shit's amazing. I do, before we wrap up, I want to talk about Pioneer Crew, which I'm actually repping right now.
yeah,
You
yeah.
mentioned Pioneer Crew a few times in the album, so I just wanted to ask you, like, what are your future plans for Pioneer Crew? Are you gonna like
Um,
recruit more people, or what's up with that?
yeah, I definitely want to recruit more people, but right now I just want to like keep doing what I'm doing. I'm working with Zookie, of course, and I'm producing. Like I got, you know what I mean, producer JM Fire. That's one of like it's my best friend, but he like he's crazy. Like he's getting better and better. But it's like shit like that, building people I trust, you know, and not rushing anything. I only put out one other project on Pioneer Crew other than myself, and that's Zookie, the Zookie G album, and I think that album was great.
Yeah.
And yeah, just taking it slow, man. Like if I come across somebody, I really feel like that. But when I met her, it was just like nobody I've ever met, you know, I ever connected with. And I felt like I had to do that with her and work with her. But other than that, I'm just focusing on what I'm doing. More albums. I'm working on the next. I was working on something before we did this meeting, you know. Yeah, like
Always working, yo.
I'm cooking up. Like I'm trying to drop again this year for sure, another album. Like
Dope.
I'm
Let's
trying
fuck up the
for
world,
sure.
Sam.
Like
Let's do it. Shake up
yeah,
the
like
thing, you know.
I'm not fucking around. Like, and I'm gonna show them like you should prove it to you. Like they gonna see. I ain't really gonna be like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing nah. I just that shit
Don't
gonna
hear
be
it.
just
Yeah,
how it
man.
works.
It's all
Yeah,
there.
just
The
like with
product
this
is
one.
there, yo.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just like with this one, I ain't even like I wasn't like yo. I'm like I had some snippets at one time, but I was like I'm not posting no more snippets. Like I'm gonna just come out with this shit. Like I'm gonna tell them like yo, it's coming in a week or whatever, and it's yeah.
It's
So
totally worth it. The length is perfect too. And you even had a little interlude in there, which was fun, like a little switch up. I like that. Are you
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
plan to do any more like music videos? Because the J Stone music video is
We
out right now,
we
every
we
single
got one
time.
we got one dropping on Monday for Agreed.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's definitely not what you're expecting. Like now people were expecting it's different. It's like something it's pretty left. It's dope though. It's fire.
That's
It's
what's up.
fire. But
I'm super
I
happy
want to
for
shoot
you,
one for
man.
Appetite too.
What's that?
I want to shoot one for Appetite and of course the one with Tdot. I want to do a couple. You know, just
Amazing.
keep it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's keep pushing this shit. It's well worth it. If you guys are
Yeah,
watching this interview, make sure to go check out Underdog Museum by Mr.
yeah.
Sap. It's full of flavor, full of raps. You're definitely gonna relate to something and
Every,
find something that you like. And I'm
every
just
single time. No, I'm a bad. Go ahead.
no. Tell me, tell
Not
me.
every single time now, letting every single time video out right now. And um the Zookie G album, I mean the Zookie G album is out and the video with Zookie is gonna be out Monday. So I don't know when this is coming out, but
ASAP.
yeah. So they they're gonna get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if
Yeah.
you're watching, video might be out by now. Definitely go check out all the new music. Underdog Museum
Yeah.
album out now on all DSPs. Sap,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to interview you and talk to you about this amazing album. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. And I
Thank
can't
you.
wait to continue to see you elevate and take this shit to higher levels and keep talking your shit.
Yo, we're gonna keep I'm getting better and better. I feel like man, listen, I appreciate the love, I appreciate the support. Like you know what I mean, that should keep me going. Like I made that post earlier, that's what it's about for me. It's not that's what, I wake up every day and do this shit and that's everything to me. Like, so we're gonna keep it going, keep
Yeah, man.
elevating.
Underdog Museum out now. It's been a pleasure. This is Mel G with TheSessionTV. Thank you again, Sap. I'll talk to you
Yeah,
soon. And everybody
yeah.
subscribe, like, comment now to TheSessionTV. One love, everybody. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Sap tracks, you rewind them. Get sleeping, it's no problem to come back and remind you. I'm trying to finally get this thing right. I guess some of us call this thing life, but in my mind I swear it feels like something new. I'm trying to finally get this thing right. I guess some of us call this thing life, but in my mind I swear it feels like something new.